It is, I'm محمد Hussein تسوجي, and it's my great privilege and honor to introduce you to Dr. مرتضی قریب. Dr. مرتضی قریب is one of the most accomplished academics and inventors that I've ever come across to know. Professor Qarieb, the Hans W. Lippmann Professor of Aeronautics and Mechanical Engineering at Caltech, California Institute of Technology, and he's currently the chair of the Center for Autonomous Systems and Technologies. He was the vice provost for 7 years at California Institute of Technology. Dr. Qarieb is a member of American Academy of Arts and Sciences, a member of National Academy of Engineering, a charter fellow of National Academy of Inventors, and fellow of many other societies, along with many other major accomplishments. Dr. Qarieb has a very accomplished record. He has over 170 patents to his name. Among his patents are iStent, a microshunt that for the treatment of glaucoma, and so far this invention has saved at least 2 million eyesights globally. He is also inventor of a 3D dental scanner that for implants and for crowns that shortens the turnaround from 2 weeks to about half an hour. He's also inventor of a VVO heart failure detection device through Venture Health. This passed the FDA approval last year and is now a commercial system. This predicts the heart failure, potential heart failures from a few hours to a few months in advance. His first implant of synthetic polymeric heart valve by Foldax Incorporation, which addressing a major need to replace animal tissue based on heart valves in the valve transplant. He's also the inventor of the first pure silicon anode for rechargeable batteries. Please join me in welcoming Dr. مرتضی قریب to the stage. So, Dr. Qarieb, thank you very much for accepting the invitation and being present here. I've always wanted to know, having 170 patents, which one is your most favorite one?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me and also for the gracious and kind introduction. That's a tough question. It's like among your children, pick up one. Which one you would love more? But I have been always cognizant of issues that medicine and also in technology people challenge. And, but in this case, medicine has been my favorite patents that I have. And among them, as you mentioned, invention for treatment of glaucoma without using any actually drops. You know, it's a very difficult disease to treat, and our invention allowed that by just an operation procedure, half an hour during a cataract surgery, to solve the problem forever. And right now, 2 million people are in the world having it, and we have very good results. And the other one is my philosophy of making sure that the most advanced medical technologies and treatments are available to the masses. And as you know, at least in this country, the price and cost of treatment is very high. If you wanted to have a heart valve, for example, God forbidden, it costs between $12,000 to $30,000. So through our inventions with my team, we came up with a heart valve that instead of using animal tissues, we are using polymers. And because we cut the price from $12,000 down to $600. And right now it's a final approval by FDA, but some other countries already approved it, like in India, is very popular because they have fantastic surgeons, but they cannot afford, expensive, heart valves coming from US. So those are my favorites. The other 160 should wait.
So Dr. Qarib, I know you've been involved in many research and scientific endeavors. You've been, with JPL, with NASA, and many other things, and as well as AI. I want to see, in your opinion, how do you see the future of science, technology, engineering, especially with this artificial intelligence? How do you see the whole engineering and technology evolving with the new technology?
Well, of course, every expert has different opinion. Mine is based on, especially as it goes to AI, is that AI is a tool, and depends on how we use it. So future of technology, especially engineering and medicine especially, is going to depend on how we use AI in order to expedite from diagnostics to treatment to using it for basically advance our, the progress in different areas. I think the key point that will help the engineering and science is that we do not use AI as a decision maker, but as a tool, and we be the judge of what is the best way of going to approach these problems. Should remember that AI lives on information that we provided in the past. So AI is not going to create a new Picasso or new Einstein. But once we introduce it to Einstein and Picasso's, it can try to do better or more of Picasso's. So at the end of the day, human beings are the key to development of science and technology in the future. But better tools, and that tool is AI.
So that echoes what Professor Tao, who is a famous mathematician at UCLA, is probably with IQ of 250. And he has the same view. He says that AI is a good co-pilot rather than the pilot itself. So you concur with that idea. Dr. Qarib, you were educated, got your undergraduate at University of Tehran, which is one of the best probably university in Iran, along with University of Sharif. And then, like me, you migrated to the United States. And you didn't go back. First of all, I would like to know what made you decide to come to the United States? Why did you leave the country? And then why you stayed here? Why you didn't go back?
Well, it's a painful memory, but I'm more than glad to share with you. I think innovation and creativity cannot flourish in a society or a community that does not allow free thinking. And especially creativity can only flourish in a society or community that allows younger generation to question, to explore, and to come up with some answers for the societal issues that they're dealing with. And for that reason, many of us, especially university students, that like me, did not see any future for if they wanted to go to an environment that allows them to get better and to be more effective in terms of contributing back to their society. And all of it went back to the fact that it was not a system that democratic and allowed for academic freedom, or to allow us to pursue our dreams in how to help our communities. So for having a breath of oxygen of freedom, I decided to leave the country. On the other hand, many of us, much better than me, decided to stay and continue to fight for bringing democracy to Iran. And among them, you can, even now, some of the leadership of MEK at that time were classmates and NCR. So that was a choice for me to make at that time.
So how do you see the engineering talent of Iranian society, Iranian people. For those of you, I was doing a project and based on the 2020 census in the United States of 1.5 million Iranians that live here officially, 500,000, 500,000 people have degrees of master's or PhD or more professional degrees. So definitely there's a great pool here. But in general, what is your feeling about it?
Just to add to your statistics, there are more Iranian original physicians in Canada than in Iran. I mean, this is really a shameful fact. But getting back to your question, you know, every Iranian family would love their kids to go to engineering, to science, to medicine, or excel in business. We always push our kids to be better and do better. And with all the talents that we have in Iran and all this, I would say high IQ, actually Iran ranked among the top 3 countries in the world that with the highest IQs. We are basically untapped with resources. Of course, you need to have material, and we have the material too. We are sitting on largest, the natural resources in the world. You can mention it from minerals to the gas and oil. And just think of if you could combine them in a society that people naturally try to solve problems, try to develop technologies that can help themselves and other people. That would be almost unimaginable. We have all the parameters that is required for being successful as an advanced country in this world.
Yeah. Well, one other question that I have, and that's maybe more for the future, is how can we attract this talent back to Iran? Just FYI, I was doing a research for NCRI some 20 years ago, and I was looking at the list of professors at the universities in the United States of America. I didn't have a chance to look at Europe and otherwise. There was not one single university that did not have an Iranian professor teaching there. Not a single one. So, based on your opinion, what should we do to pull back, to attract back this immense amount of talent that we have abroad to Iran?
Well, before answering that question, going back to your comment, it shows very clearly that if we bring the same people, same students, same talents to a society that allows them to grow, what they can achieve.
Of course.
I was looking at some of the statistics. Right now, 10% of the chairs of electrical engineering in this country are from Iranian origin. You can imagine that, there must be something good about them. But how come they couldn't do it back in Iran? The answer is obvious. The answer is that you need to create an environment that allows free thinking. Do not punish people for questioning. And that means that you need to have a democratic environment, a democratic government that supports its people for being innovative, creative, and help them. I think once you have that environment, people will do the job. We don't need to tell them what to do exactly. They can solve all the problems for us. For bringing that back to Iran is a necessary condition to have a democratic, secular, and peaceful Iran, republic.
Of course. Have you had any chance to discuss your views and whatnot with the leadership of the opposition in Iran?
Yeah, I was actually lucky enough on many occasions to have this discussion, and without any exaggeration, the most impressive part of my meeting was with Madame Rajavi, and she is an amazing scientist. I'm telling her in front of her, the type of questions that she asked me kind of... The type of question and depth of questions, I think not the type of question, depth of questions from AI to quantum physics to astrophysics, medicine. I said, this lady must have been studying a lot. How many hours she has per day? that can actually study and ask such deep questions. Thank you very much, anyways. You challenged me to be a better scientist. And I think at the end of the day, it's obvious that we need to have the opportunities and create the opportunities for our younger generations. And as long as we have leaderships that they are for science and for engineering, I have no doubts that once we have that democratic Iran, we are going to be in good business.
Speaking of Madame Rajavi and her thirst for science and technology, we've had occasions as a member of NCRI that I had the privilege and honor of sitting with Madame Rajavi, and she always asks questions. But one of the most important things to me is that Madame Rajavi is asking scientific questions, not only for the sake of scientific questions, but she is seeing how can I implement this in the organization to make it even more efficient, like AI and whatnot. And for me, that's truly, truly remarkable. The focus that Madam President-elect has on the issue of bringing democracy to Iran, regime change in Iran, but also making efficient the organization that she's leading towards Iran. My last question to you is, although I have so many other questions that I wish I could have asked, but time is short. The question to you is, what kind of suggestion would you have for the future of Iran and the resistance?
Of course, I'm a scientist, so I only trust myself when I make scientific suggestions. But I don't think that we need to make any suggestions. We have the 10-point platform. Just follow that. I mean, it creates all the environments that you need to have, all the requirements that you need to have to fulfill everything that I mentioned. I mean, that 10 points, I studied very carefully. It's a nice, rejuvenated U.S. the original Constitution. It's just amazing that also designed for Iranians, for Iranian societies. So my only suggestion, if I may, is that let's follow that 10 points, those 10 points. I mean, we are going to be in good shape.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Qarib, thank you very much for the privilege. It's quite an honor, and really, as an Iranian professor and engineer, scientist, it's an honor to have someone like you, support the resistance and also help the humanity. So thank you very much for training.
Thank you.
با تشکر از دکتر تسوجی و دکتر قریب بسیار بسیار سپاسگزارم. شما شکست نفسی کردین. واقعیت اینه که اون چه من از دیدارهای شما استفاده بردم، سوالهای زیادی بوده که پرسیدم و شما به من آموخته اید و علومی رو که در اختیارم گذاشتید بسیار برام ارزشمنده و همواره به مثابه یک دانشجو از شما می‌آموزم و پرسجو و جستجو می‌کنم، زیرا در جنگ بی امان با یک دیکتاتوری دینی علوم و تکنیک‌های جدید ضرورت بالا بردن قدرت نبرد ما برای آزادی مردم ایرانه. اما دلم می‌خواست قدردانی کنم از صحبت‌های شما و به خصوص دیدگاه پرارزشی که پروفسور قریب اینجا ارائه کرد و همچنین از سوالای بسیار عمیقی که دکتر تسوجی اینجا مطرح کردن. اجازه بدین ولی از این فرصت استفاده کنم چند جمله اضافه کنم که احساسات من نسبت به وضعیت فعلیه، همچنین امیدهایم نسبت به آینده، مشخصاً در مورد جامعه علمی ایران و زنان و مردان والایی مثل اساتید حاضر در این اجتماع بزرگ که دانشمندان، متفکران و متخصصین ارجمند جامعه ایران هستند. اما زیر فشار دیکتاتوری و سرکوب جلای وطن کرده اند و همچنین دانشمندان و متخصصان گرانقدری که الان در ایران هستند و از سرکوبگری ها و انواع محدودیت ها، تضییقات و همچنین سیاست های ارتجاعی و ضد علمی رژیم تحت فشار هستند. واقعیت اینه که دیکتاتوری و اختناق چه در حاکمیت شاه و ساواک اون و چه در حاکمیت شیخ با انواع نهادهای کنترل کننده دشمن جامعه علمی ایران و دشمن پیشرفت حقیقی دانش و پژوهش در کشور ما بوده و هستند. مقاومت برای آزادی و دموکراسی در این 4 دهه در این حال مقاومت برای گشودن راه دانش و اندیشه هم هست. بی تردید دانشمندان و متخصصان و دانشگاهیان شریف ایران نقش تعیین کننده‌ای در فرایند بازسازی ایران و جهش همه جانبه به سوی کشور آزاد و آباد و پیشرفته دارند. از سالها پیش مسعود گفته تخصص منهای وابستگی به قیمت طلاست، یعنی انقدر میارزد. بله، با وجود یک آلترناتیو شایسته جایی برای نگرانی نسبت به آینده نیست و میلیون ها ایرانی دور از وطن با تخصص و دانش و تجربه های ارزشمندشون و همچنین میلیون ها متخصص و فارغ التحصیل در داخل ایران سرمایه بزرگ مردم ما برای آزادی و پیشرفت هستند. مجددا تشکر میکنم از پروفسور قریب و دکتر تسوجی. درود بر شما.